It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl, a special edition today. The two teams you're about to meet have won once previously in this year's competition, today vying for the chance to move to the semifinals in this, our 37th year of competition. Science Game Show here in the Prince George's Schools. Play along, test your own science IQ. Let's meet today's teams. First from Hyattsville Elementary School, would you say hello to Theo? Theo, nice to have you here today. Nice to have you back. Tess is here. She can wave to everybody if she wants to. She's the captain. And Michael, good to have you back as well. A very excellent science student. And they'll be playing against Yorktown Elementary. Say hello to Octavia, our soccer player. Nate is here, maybe going to the military someday. And Ethan, he is our star swimmer over there and a star science student too. Here on the Science Bowl, we have 6 categories of questions. Let's share those with you right now.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
And here on the Science Bowl, our game board reflects question difficulty. Easier questions on the left worth 5 and 10 points. Tougher ones 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece, and these are talented students for sure. We give them 50 points just for showing up and looking good. No penalties for incorrect answers. At the end of the 2 rounds, we will have a semifinalist. Let's go over and make sure everything works properly before we start. Let's go to that Hyattsville team. Tess, would you try your buzzer? It is A-OK. Good luck to you, Mike, and Theo. Nate, how's the green team doing? It seems to be doing fine. Good luck to you, Ethan and Octavia. And I just have to say, congratulations on making it this far. Not every school gets this far in our competition, so you guys, you're great. You don't have anything to prove. Let's have a good game today, and may the better team win. And we go alphabetically H before Y, so Hyattsville and Tess, let's play that bowl.
Zoo Parade for 10.
Zoo Parade for 10 points. Let's look at a picture to start our game. The horses on Maryland's Assateague Island are so small because the local grasses they eat are very poor in nutrients. That's the reason we call these horses these, like the famous Misty of Chincoteague.
What? Ponies?
Ponies is right, absolutely right. Yes. All right, green thing. Did that work, teams? Yes. All right, green, go. Nate.
Science Potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. A bronchial tree is not a green thing, but rather the name of a tree-like structure in the body with branches that go into this body organ. Yorktown.
Lungs?
The lungs, yeah, the bronchial lung, the bronchial tubes, yes indeed. Look exactly like a tree in there. Thank you, Ethan, for your help. Go.
Dateline for 10.
Dateline, 10 points. You got to listen carefully here. Listen to everything I say. The name of the NASA rocket fired recently at an asteroid to change its orbit was the Double Asteroid Redirection Test, or what acronym for short? Yorktown?
DART.
DART is right, yeah. Ethan was way ahead of me here. It was the acronym Double Asteroid Redirection Test, the DART. Good. Go green.
Science Potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. This is kind of a scary thing. A body hormone called ghrelin is produced in your gut that lets you know when you're hungry. But if you're dieting or you're cutting calories, a large amount of that hormone is produced, telling your body that you might be in the early stages of this happening to you. Starvation. Starvation is letting you know you're not getting enough food and you may be starving. So chow down, folks. Go to McDonald's right now. Go again, Green.
Dateline for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. Teams, your question is as follows. This device that responds to the Earth's magnetic fields is often listed as the most important scientific discovery ever, since it helped our planet's early explorers find their way. Yorktown.
Compass.
A compass, absolutely right. If you're in scouting, you learn how to use a compass, help you find north and south. Probably one of the most important, because in the early explorers, they had no idea where they were. The compass, a magnificent step in science invention. Go again.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Multiple choice. If you exercise a lot and your muscles are getting bigger, they have atrophied, hypertrophied, or dystrophied. There was a clue and a prefix there. Correct answer is hypertrophied. Hyper means a lot. Hyper and atrophy means to go the opposite direction. Try again, Green.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Unfortunately for homeowners, in the fall, these formerly green things won't rake themselves. Yorktown.
Leaves.
Leaves. Yeah, the leaves are all over the place. They won't rake themselves. You got to get out there. Maybe you got a leaf blower, borrow a neighbor's, and that'll take care of it for you. Okay. All right, it's been all Yorktown so far. Come on, Hyattsville. Michael, Theo, you know, Tessa's sitting there. She can't do it on her own. Nudge her, poke her. All right, let's go. Nate.
Dateline for 25.
Dateline for 25, the big one in that category. All right, a lot of you, how many of you text? Do you text? Yeah. And you know, LOL stands for, you know, laugh out loud. TMI, too much information. MOS, mom over shoulder. We know that one, right? All right, hearing aids that once had to be prescribed by a doctor are now available at pharmacies, OTC. What does OTC stand for? Over the counter. Over the counter drugs, you know, you don't need a prescription for them. That was a tough question. That buzzer has sounded. All right, the first round went by quickly. It's been all Yorktown so far. They're at 100 points. Hyattsville is still at 50, but we have lots of questions left, and Scienceville has a way of turning things around in the second half, so don't go away. We'll be back. And welcome back to Science Bowl. 6 outstanding players here. As I said at the top of the show, they were all here. All 6 of them previously had won their first matches, and they're here today vying for the chance to move on the competition ladder. And even though Hyattsville hasn't moved that much yet, you just wait. Yeah, they are a great team. Let's find out about them and their competition. Tess, nice to have you here. Mr. McKee is your wonderful principal, and Mr. Danga is out there. Boy, he is all in with Science Bowl. You guys are wearing matching shirts over there. Tell me, first of all, do you have any alternates on your team?
Yes, we have Sophia and Monica as
Wonderful, and we'll bring them out in just a few moments' time here. And, you know, I often like to ask what you like best about your school. And you told me last time, you just have the best teachers. You have the best teachers. You've got a great principal there. The reason why you go to school is for those reasons there. They care about you. What is it that you like about the Science Bowl? Why did you want to do this?
I like science. I like how it's not always predictable. Like some things, you can't always tell what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I like having the feeling that, oh, this might not turn out the way I thought it would.
Isn't that the truth? So much in life is like that. So many science experiments, they're not really experiments, they're just like recipes. You know ahead of time what's going to happen. But yet life does not provide all those answers. What do you want to do someday, Tess?
I think I want to be an architect like my parents are.
Yeah. What would you like to design? Buildings or cars or homes? Do you have any idea what you might want to construct or design?
Not yet.
No. I love buildings. The Burj Dubai, the tallest building in the world in the Middle East there. It's like, how did they get that up there? It's just an amazing thing. Obviously, you're a good math student, and you have some engineering skills, too. Good to have you here. Michael, nice to have you here today. young man who plays soccer, yeah? And maybe a professional soccer player one day. Do you have a favorite soccer player that you look up to?
I really look up to Cristiano Ronaldo and James Rodriguez.
Yeah, I could see you start to smile as soon as I said, because you know these guys. You want to be just like him. You follow their careers. You don't play on a team, do you? Do you?
I do.
You do. What's the team?
It doesn't have a name.
Doesn't have a name. But is it a group of kids that you know well and you play together? And tell me also about your job as a safety patrol. Where do you patrol at Hyattsville Elementary?
Well, I patrol for Miss Sunday's room. It's a room where like we make sure little kids like don't wander off or like so like they're listening to the teacher.
Yeah. So you're one of the big kids. They're going to listen to you. Theo, tell us about yourself. What do you do in your spare time?
I win.
You win, yeah. Well, obviously you win because you're here. You won your first game. You're doing well enough in the second game. I know you're going to add some correct answers here in the second half here. Why'd you want to be on the show?
To win.
Okay, that's great. And I hope you're here also because you want to learn something. We like to learn from you, you know, and I hope you learn from us. So everybody wins here, and so it's entertaining too. You're a good player. Let's go over to Yorktown. Nate, all right, you guys you're cooking with gas over there, as we used to say. You're doing a nice job. Tell us about Yorktown. Principal.
Dr. Savoy.
Dr. Savoy, yeah, and you have a couple different coaches, don't you? Who do you got?
We have Miss Kelm and Miss Deffenbaugh.
Wonderful. Yeah, so they're there, and I know how much they've invested, all the time they've invested, just like Mr. Danga, to get you guys here, because they didn't have to do this. They did it because they cared about you. Like your matching shirts over there too, just like at Hyattsville. It's your uniform. It's your uniform, yeah. And what's your mascot?
The Wildcat.
Wildcats. And Hyattsville, what's your mascot? Okay, we got some big cats here today. Yes, we do. Nate, tell us about any alternates you got.
We have Leah, that's our alternate, and we have Serena, Abby, Carrington, and Natalia are our other teammates.
Yeah, you got a great memory over there, Nate. You told me on an earlier program you might want to go into the military. Any particular service?
Probably the Marine Corps, most likely.
Yeah, and follow in your family's footsteps there. And why'd you want to be on this show?
I love science. Science is the best subject.
What's that?
Science is the best subject ever.
Wow. All right, we're going to replay this a couple times because you're the best advertisement for our show, Nate. Good to have you here. Octavia, you have such a great personality, and I know you're a soccer player too, but not professionally someday. You think you've got some other ideas, right? Like what?
Being a teacher.
Yeah. And was there a particular teacher or teachers who made such an impression on you that you said to yourself, I'm going to be just like them?
My fourth grade teachers, Miss Eberwine, Miss Deffenbaugh, and Mr. Cuellar.
Wow. What was it that they did that made you think this would be something I want to do for my life?
Putting so much time and effort into like grading our papers and being patient with us when like we don't understand something.
Yeah, that's a special skill. And you know, patience and empathy, and knowing that every child learns at a different rate. To be a good teacher. Other than soccer, what do you do in your spare time? Do you like to read?
Not really.
Not really. No. Oh, yeah. We're gonna have to get Octavia some books here. You know, obviously you're doing real well without reading a lot of books here because
I have a lot of books in my room. It's just I don't read most of them.
Hey, you're out there practicing. You're tired. I get it. No, that's not a criticism. Ethan, nice to have you with us today.
Hi.
Young man who likes to. You're into karate. Is that right? You're into karate and you're into swimming, and so you're an athlete and you're an academic, and someday you're going to do what?
Be an engineer.
Be an engineer, yeah. All right. Tess wants to be an architect. What kind of engineering? Chemical, mechanical?
Mechanical or software.
Software, very good. All right, yeah. You're going to be successful, I can tell, Ethan. You're doing a nice job here today. Let's get back into this game. 100 for Yorktown, 50 for Hyattsville. Last correct answer came from the green team. Lots of points to go. Nate.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25 points. Pandas, love them. Pandas need strong teeth to eat bamboo, their favorite food, because while considered a grass, bamboo is not a herbaceous plant and is composed mostly of this hard plant material. Wood. Wood was the right answer there. That's why they need those strong teeth. So woody plant, not a herbaceous plant. It's like banana trees are not really trees. They are herbaceous. They have no wood. It's more an herb. Go again, green.
Let's get physical for 20.
Physical for 20 points. Your question. It's been discovered that seabirds near Japan avoid getting hurt by these T initial tropical storms by flying into the eye, Yorktown.
Tornadoes?
Not tornadoes. Good try, Hyattsville. These Japanese birds can escape being hurt by these T initial tropical storms by flying into the eye and staying there for hours until the storms move out into the Pacific Ocean. These T initial storms are the equivalent of our hurricanes.
A tsunami?
Oh, good try. Typhoons. Typhoons. Tsunami was a great guess, though. Try again, green. Go, Nate.
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo parade, 20 points. All right, multiple choice. A newly discovered whale in the Gulf of Mexico, called the Gulf of Mexico whale, could be threatened by any oil spill in the Gulf. Since oil can coat this B initial structure, I'm going to give you some choices, can coat this B initial structure that the whales use to filter the food from the sea. Is that screen, that filter, called the balu, the ball peen, or the baleen? Yorktown.
Baleen?
Baleen is exactly right. Yes, baleen whales have this filter and they get the krill and some of the tiny others of zooplankton out of the water. Go again.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Before you get your permanent teeth, we've all had baby teeth. Your baby teeth are described by this adjective that's used to describe trees that lose their leaves in the fall. That's the deciduous trees. Deciduous trees lose their leaves in the fall, and your baby teeth, since they fall out, are called deciduous teeth. Kind of neat. A tooth named for a plant. Okay, go. Green.
Dateline for 20.
Dateline, 20 points. This is an interesting story. During World War II, soldiers and sailors didn't drown if they fell into the water because of the silky floss that came from the pods of these plants that we associate with monarch butterflies, the only plant monarch butterflies will eat. Yes, Yorktown.
Milkweed?
Milkweed, absolutely right. And during World War II, kids like you were given money to go out with bags to pick as many milkweed pods as you could so that they could get that floss, that silk, to make those life preservers for the sailors and the soldiers. Okay, green.
Body systems for 15.
Body for 15 points. If your body produces too much of a hormone called natriuretic peptide, you've never heard of that before, that hormone will urge you to pee because there's too much of what chemical element in your body with the symbol capital N small a on the periodic table? Yorktown.
Sodium.
Sodium. Oh boy, Octavia knew that one. She was ready. She was ready for it. And natri, N-A-T-R-I, is a prefix for natrium, which was the old name for sodium in Greek. Go again.
Body systems for 20.
Body for 20. Have you ever had your blood pressure taken? They put like a cuff around your arm and they pump it up and you get a number like 120/80. Well, that blood pressure indicates the pressure placed against the walls of these blood vessels as the blood leaves the heart and then as the heart relaxes. What kinds of blood vessels are measured with blood pressure cuffs?
Veins?
Not veins. Come on, Hyattsville. What's the other kind of blood vessel? Help her out, Mike. Theo, if it's not veins, what's it got to be? Big ones. Arteries. Arteries was the right answer there. Go again, green.
Science potpourri for 5.
I'm sorry?
Science potpourri for 5.
Science potpourri for 5 points. The most familiar kind of lettuce in our salads, it doesn't have much taste, is the one named for these which break off glaciers. Icebergs. It's called iceberg lettuce. It's a big head and it really doesn't have much flavor, but it's used a lot in salads. Try again, green.
Body systems for 25.
Body for 25 points. All right, you need 2 answers to answer this one. You know, astronauts, if they spend too much time in space, like 6 months, they can lose up to 10 years of bone mass in their weight-bearing leg bones, like the femur and the tibia. But the arm bones, they don't suffer any loss of weight at all. I'll give you 25 points if you can name 2 arm bones. Okay. Someone's got to ring in if you've got an idea. All right, Yorktown says, we think we can give you 2, Mr. Z.
The ulna and radius.
You got them. Ulna and the radius. And the other one at the top is the humerus bone, the humerus. Those 3, because they're not weight-bearing, these astronauts, only the weight-bearing bones are the ones that seem to lose bone mass. All right, that was an excellent answer, by the way. Go.
Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25 points. People living near nuclear power plants keep a supply of iodine tablets, which they would need to take if a plant accident released radiation and targeted this T-initialed endocrine gland in the neck. You have a gland in your neck here. Begins with a T. That's the thyroid gland. Try again, green. Go. Nate?
Let's get physical for 10.
Physical for 10 points. Multiple choice. You have detectors in your home for smoke. You have a smoke detector in your house. You might have one for carbon monoxide. And there's a detector for this other gas that sleeps into the basement. Is it called argon, sulfur dioxide, or radon? Yorktown.
Sulfur dioxide?
Not sulfur dioxide. It is not. Come on, Hyattsville. This gas that comes in, it's a dangerous gas, can seep into your basement, and you can have a detector for it. Is it argon, sulfur dioxide, or radon?
Argon.
The last one. It was the radon. It was the radon. Come on. Don't get frustrated. Don't get frustrated. Keep trying. Go green.
Dateline for 5.
Dateline for 5 points. Okay, come on. Theo, get ready. I want this to be a group push. Get your hands on that buzzer, all of you, because I know everyone's going to know this. Everyone's going to know it. It's likely that these tasty crustaceans, including the large snow varieties in Alaska, Yorktown.
Crabs?
Crabs! Yeah, they're disappearing because of climate change. Tasty and crustacean were your 2 cues there. All right, go again.
Zoo parade for 5.
Zoo parade for 5 points. In New York City, there's a statue featuring 3 of these highly endangered African mammals right on top of each other. These animals are the 2nd largest land mammals on Earth. 2nd largest. Yorktown.
Elephants?
Not an elephant. That's a good try. The 2nd largest mammals on Earth. Hyattsville, they got a statue with 3 of them on top of each other in New York City. What you got? You got to think of big mammals now. Come on, guys.
Hippos.
What's that?
Hippos.
Good try. Rhinos. Rhinos. Rhinos, rhinos, rhinos. Okay, if they're on top of each other, good thing it's a statue. Otherwise, they'd get poking with the horns. Go green.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Here's your question. If you're having pasta for dinner tonight, maybe macaroni and cheese, that pasta might be in the shape of this body joint. Yorktown.
Elbow?
Your elbow. Elbow macaroni is right. Yes, indeed. Go again.
Green things for 10.
Green for 10. All right. This kind of tree can be sheared much like a sheep. Workers shave off the outer bark, which grows back, to get the wine bottle stoppers with the same name as the tree they come from. What do you call those things at the top of a wine bottle? Yorktown.
Cork.
The cork, yeah. You shave the cork off the outside, yeah. All right, that buzzer says this game is over. I think Hyattsville was waiting for that buzzer there. It's been a rough afternoon for them, but we are proud of them and we're proud of Yorktown. We'll be back in just a moment with a wrap-up. Don't go away. Welcome back. Well, it was an interesting afternoon here. Sometimes you get the questions you want and sometimes you don't. Our final tally today is Hyattsville 50 and Yorktown 200. And we have a round of applause for everybody here today. And we hope to see the Hyattsville kids back here again next year. I want them to come back because they know what they're doing. And Yorktown, we're going to see you in the semifinals. Nate, would you tell us who's standing behind you there?
This is Miss Deffenbaugh, this is Leah, and this is Miss Kelm.
Wonderful, guys. Thank you for all you did. And Tess, you are a great captain there. And would you tell us who's with you?
There's our principal, Dr. McKee, Ms. Brock, who's in charge of most of the science, and our coach, Mr. Denga. There's also our alternates, Monica and Sophia.
Absolutely, and she's smiling through it all. She is a trooper. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you for joining us on Science Bowl today, and I hope to see you next time for another edition. Until then, I'm Dave Zarin. Bye-bye now.